So, do you guys have a memory where you met someone for the very first time and possibly you may end up liking this person later down the road, or possibly you guys are best friends, or you guys were once friends but you got in separate ways, with leaving with good and bad memories? So, for the first part of Sakamoto desu, episode 9, that was basically what it was. So we have 3 of the females that have appeared in the series. I don't remember their names, but I'll briefly go over what their first memory of Sakamoto was, and also Kobota's memory of meeting Sakamoto. So for the first girl, she had blue hair. Her memory of meeting Sakamoto was when she was doing her entrance exam to go into their school, and she dropped her eraser. Sakamoto picked it up and was erasing his paper at like such high speeds, and she thought that was very rude. But when she got back her eraser from Sakamoto, it was so hot that it caused her hands to, become unnumb, and also to warm them up because they were so cold. Now for the second girl, her memory of first meeting Sakamoto was when before she did her entrance exam test, she had to get various textbooks to be able to read, or possibly they were going to be used for the year, while she was in school. And because they weighed so much, she was about to fall and drop all her books, and Sakamoto caught them in a bridal style, and that was her first memory of meeting Sakamoto. Now for the third person, the third girl, her memory, she has bob cut hair and she wears red glasses. Her memory of being Sakamoto was the day of orientation. And when she was walking through the storm, various students were walking through a storm, and it was raining so hard and there was so much wind that it caused her umbrella and many others to break. But what fascinated her the most was seeing Sakamoto's own, even though it was broken, it was like flipped upside. It was actually gathering water, and she was so fascinated by that. I failed to understand how can you be fascinated by something like that. And that was basically her first memory of me and Sakamoto. Now for Kubota, his was the most romantic out of all of those. His memory was him coming to school, the very first day of school, and he had a war on his hand, which he was very self-conscious of, so he had a band-aid over it. It came off, and Sakamoto picked up the band-aid and put it on like he was proposing to Kubota. And that was basically his first memory of me and Sakamoto, not knowing that eventually they would have become such good friends. But the funny thing was, Sakamoto does not have any recollection of such an event happening. So that means he does not remember doing any of these things for any of these girls. And it ends off right there. And it was just totally funny because, if they was to try to bring up the topic, Sakamoto would not be able to tell what was true or was not because he does not remember. So the second half was really creepy, but it saved itself with this one sweet moment. So by creepy, I mean Kobota's mother. Remember the first time she was introduced, and she has that obsession with Sakamoto, and thinking he was her favorite character from that K-drama romance series. And then Sakamoto's I don't exist in this world and all of that stuff. I think it was around episode 5 or 6, somewhere along those lines. But she comes back in this episode, and the thing is, her and her son look so alike. They can pull off to be twins, because they're so big in their facials. They look so alike. It is freaky. They look like twins. When she doesn't have no makeup on, they look like twins. So Kubota is down with a cold. She goes and infiltrates the school as Kubota for the day so that she can be close to Sakamoto. So she has everybody fooled thinking that she's Kubota when she's not. And she tries her best to get Sakamoto's attention while also restraining herself. But at the same time, it's so sad. You're a mom obsessing over a 15 to 16-year-old boy. He's a teenager, and you're obsessing over a guy, and you're possibly in your 30s to 40s, and you're obsessing over a kid, basically. That was such the creepiest part of the episode. And it was creepy where they had cooking class, and they had to cook miso soup. And she cooked it, and Sakamoto had a taste test, and he said it was very good. And the same plate that he drank out, she was about to drink out of it as well. And it would have been an indirect kiss. And then the most popular girl in the class, I believe her name is Aya, she took it, and Kobota's mother gave her the meanest, most death-defying glare in history. Like, she wanted to kill her. Like, excuse you? I was about to go drink out of that. And then the second part was like when they had gym, they had physical education. She was running after Sakamoto like her life depended on it. Sakamoto, his style of running was called evolution running, where it's like, from the monkey to the human walking on 2 feet. And she's trying to run after him, and oh my god. And she falls and she breaks her necklace, and like she's about to go put on back her uniform, and the boys come inside the class, and they're like, they're trying to fool around with her, and before she can put a stop to it, she gives up, and Sakamoto comes in with the save to save her. And then she remembers, she's like, she remembers her role, like I'm a mother. And you see the sweet part in the episode where it's like she remembers the day her son was born, and she's always taking care of him, and making sure that he's raised in a proper household. And it was just like a really sweet moment in this episode. Like, despite all the craziness and the weirdness and the creepiness, this moment was like a very sweet moment, and it almost made me tear. It almost did, but I didn't. But that was a very sweet moment. And then she went back home and took care of Kubota to make sure that he's 100% fully healthy and back up to strength. And we see the broken necklace that Sakamoto fixed. She actually used it, and she has placed on the table, and her chopsticks is on top of it. I guess it's going to be used for that from now on. But despite that moment was very sweet, and it was very heartwarming. And I mean, it looks like she's over her obsession with Sakamoto. I hope so. I pray so. She's over that obsession, because it was too creepy and it's not healthy. So if you saw this week's episode of Sakamoto desu, episode 9, tell me in the comment section below what your thoughts were on it. The links are in the description box, so you guys can click on that. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!